So did my mom.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We've been doing this show for over 10 years now, and we got a major announcement, probably one of the biggest announcements since we announced we were doing live shows, or one of the biggest announcements since we when we added Asa and took off Dan. A major change in the KFC Radio world. First off, we're rebranding everything. You can see here I'm wearing the new Be Normal shirt. This is our new color scheme. This is our new logo. We've got a whole retro theme coming out that Pavs whipped up for our logos, for our merch, for anything you see KFC Radio. It's now,
did it in one shot too.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
impressive.
I mean, it's been this for like
Too long.
6 years, 7 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Shout out to our boy Trig. He whipped this up, and it's been a great one for us. But these things probably should change almost every year, and we've been sitting on it for a long time. So Pav said we gotta spice things up a little bit, and because we are the oldest podcast and we're established in 2012, and we've been doing some of that throwback type stuff. He went with a throwback vibe. So new colors, new logo, new theme, new motif. But the major announcement is we are switching to 3 days a week now.
3-ball, baby!
When we first started, when it was John and I, and when it was me, John, and Asa, and then when it was just John and I, the idea was there was really two podcasts at the time, and it was us and Pardon My Take. And so Pardon My Take was going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we would go Tuesday, Thursday. And that way there was a Barstool podcast every day of the week. And
now there are significantly more podcasts.
I would say so, yeah.
So it doesn't
and
fucking
there
matter
really
anymore.
are no rules. Yeah, I mean, remember originally Pardon My Take was supposed to be shorter, 3 days a week, but only 20-minute podcasts. So we're going to do them multiple times. And then we were like, okay, we'll have our 2 episodes. And then it was just none of this matters.
Yeah.
Every time we get behind them, no one's going to have short podcasts, and everyone wants to have more podcasts. And now, that was back when podcasts needed to be 1 hour, once a week, and we were kind of changing the rules up a little bit then. And now I'm like, wait a minute. There's no reason to do this Tuesday, Thursday thing anymore. But we will keep that, so we're not fucking with anybody's schedule. We're just adding Monday. So you have us Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And this is all just to inevitably one day do it every fucking day. To give a little background.
This is kicking the can down the road to doing it 5 days a week.
I mean, listen, we've done it every which way. We've done it once a week. We've done it twice a week. We did twice a week with 3 quickies when we used to do 30-minute episodes. We always kind of just listen to our sales department and our finance department, because at the end of the day, it is a business. And they always tell us things like, your average number of downloads goes down when you add an episode, because now it's divided by 3 instead of divided by 2. So if sponsors and clients see those numbers, it changes things. I'm like, well, can't we just tell them that we've added a 3rd episode and that's why it's skewing this way? And I always shied away from adding more episodes because they were like, your rates are going to go down. And now I just said, fuck it. I don't care. That's on you guys to continue to sell it at the correct rate, and for us to make sure that we grow that 3rd episode to the point that it doesn't bring the numbers down.
I also don't think is going to happen.
I don't think so either. I mean, I swear, I fucking swear to God, if you assholes just don't listen to the 3rd episode, I'll kill you. I'll find all of you and I'll kill you. So how about that? So I think this is just going to be, they're going to realize, I'm sure Mondays it'll take a little while because people have their other shows they listen to on Monday, or they don't realize that it's the new schedule, whatever. And as soon as Monday's numbers are the same as Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're probably just going to add Wednesday.
And then also Mondays, the goal with Mondays and the idea behind Mondays was, because we very much like interacting with our coworkers, is to have I stole it. Is to have a Barstool employee on. No, there will not be guests on Mondays.
Right.
At best, it'll be the 2 of us and a Barstool employee. At worst, it'll be just the 2 of us. Mondays will be no guest episodes.
We originally had an idea of always Tuesdays would be regular guests, our Thursday episodes will be a Barstool guest because, believe it or not, when you have Mark Wahlberg on, the downloads go here. When you have Nick Tarani on, the downloads go here. It's just people love the inside Barstool interaction, and it's something that I've always said we should do more of as a whole company. We should all be collaborating more. But we never really did it. I said, fuck it, we're just going to do it now. So the Monday episode is going to be reserved for me and John, and also whoever is popping that week or wants to jump on, or we love when Frankie comes on and Rudy comes on.
You can probably picture who our regulars will be. Keegs. But Frankie,
Rudy,
Trent, Rudy, Keegs.
Trent,
There will. I don't think we'll have one on every Monday because it's just a lot, and we don't like everybody.
Right. Well, I bet it'll happen about. We'll have. Like
I want it to happen as much as possible.
But it should. And people like there's new people like Caroline and like like new faces that we want to have on, the Mean Girls. So it'll be a lot of Barstool stuff. I think that's also where we can do some Barstool gossip too. Sometimes I hate talking about inside Barstool stuff, but I know people like it, so hey, we can do that on the third episode. But yeah, it's just more KFC radio for the people. So for our diehards, I'm sure you're thrilled. For some of our casuals, come along for the ride for another episode. Another probably like they probably won't be like 3-hour episodes.
No,
we're not gonna do that. No. We don't need to have that much work. Come on.
We'll
start with one. Okay, yeah. 1 hour episode Mondays to add to the list. And then, like I said, one day we'll just be doing 5 days a week. Sorry, Nick. That announcement was brought to you by Whistle Pig Whiskey. And it's because we have sponsors like this now, and because we want to get more sponsors like this, that we're switching things up, because Whistle Pig is hands down, far and away, the best client we've ever worked with. They're just like, here's fucking awesome whiskey that everybody loves. Can you promote it for us? And we say, yeah, what are the rules? And they said, we don't have any.
What are the rules?
What was that?
What are the rules? Tell me, baby,
Nick.
What are the rules?
Keep going, Nick. I heard you chiming in from over there. Yeah.
I forget what the rest of the lyrics are, but it's from the Sunny Up when they get electrified.
Yeah.
They do the whiz backwards. Wait, and hold on the Whistle Pig thing. I rewatched that episode recently. The end of that episode is one of the funniest, hilarious things, because Charlie's the young black kid.
Yeah.
And he comes out, and he's the police are coming, and he's singing in his high-pitched voice.
That's
like
it's a full musical episode, right? That was the first time
there's regular talking as well.
Right, but it's a musical episode. Yeah.
And he's coming out in his kind of gravelly voice. He's saying describing the police officers are his friends. And he goes, "'Cause they gave me this car." And as he reaches into his jacket, the cops go, "It's got a gun," and they light up this young black. It is like, I remember the first time I saw it.
Was it like before everything really popped off?
No.
It was after everything.
After.
It was like a commentary.
That was immediately after.
Yeah.
Like it was their first episode back.
I remember.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, they made it without having it.
They knew what they were doing. They knew.
Okay.
And I remember I was just watching it like live, and every time I've watched it since, going,
holy shit! Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't remember the song, but I do remember thinking that at the time, being like, whoa, they just fucking went there. But it just, like in classic Sunny fashion, just went. It was okay. Anyway, Whistle Pig Whiskey. They're another they're like Always Sunny. They're around forever. They will be around forever. Because they have an unbelievable product, and the people that know about it know that they're the best in the game, and the other people, fuck them, don't care about them. And you know that they are, that they're real ones by the fact that they get down with us, and Bussin' with the Boys are like their two Barstool, representatives, which is like, honestly, if you're down with what Will Compton is doing with Joe Rogan is so fucking fun.
What is he doing?
So they recorded an episode with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Way back. Not way back, but I think like a month
ago.
I
think they recorded with Rodgers first.
Oh, yeah.
So why did they hold?
Because they did like a Grit Week, their version of Grit Week, like a training camp thing. They brought the bus everywhere, and they wanted Aaron Rodgers to be the finale.
Oh, okay.
And Rogan did Aaron Rodgers and just put it out. Yeah. And just shitty luck and bad planning by them. They should have put it out right away.
Yeah, for the future reference, boys, when you get a big guest, put him out right away.
Put him out right away. And so Rogan put it out. So so Will is like Rogan's clearly scared of busting with the boys. Got wind that we were doing this and decided to drop his episode the same week. And it is right over the Rogan bros' heads.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan doesn't even know who you guys are. Are you kidding me? And Will just keeps like, he's like, so clearly we're taking this as a sign of weakness from Joe and like or whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna get together with my team. Joe's gonna get together with his. We're gonna work something out. Don't worry. And people are just eating it, thinking it's real. It's fucking unbelievable. But if Whistle Pig's down with Bussin' and us, you know that it's. They're good.
It is.
people.
It is.
It's good whiskey.
The great
but
honor
it's
of my life is having Whistle Pig.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Like, that's not a joke.
I remember
it's
telling
the
my
great
dad,
honor of my life.
I said to my dad, like, I made it. Like, people are kind of like, what do you want to do in life, or what do you want? Like, what's your goal in life? It's like, I am effectively I have an endorsement deal with a whiskey that's super high quality. Like, you get paid to drink whiskey. That's it.
Whiskey drinkers here, and they're like, wait,
dream.
Whistle Pig advertises with
Right.
you? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Whistle Pig.
It's like, yeah, we know we don't deserve it. But Whistle Pig's like, yes, you do. We love you guys. I'm like, fucking A, man.
Yeah.
They're the best. Like, the whiskey's unbelievable, and that's why you should drink it. But also, if you want to support us or support the right people.
Whistle Pig is a
like, Whistle Pig
supportive partner
deserves,
to us.
Yeah.
So please be a supportive
But just
partner
the way they are. They're like, they get down with, like, they always want to look for, like, they said they look for, like, cult followings, like people who really have an influence, and they're just good people, so they deserve it. So if you're gonna drink whiskey, drink quality whiskey and support the right people. They've also got the maple syrup here. I take a hit of the syrup every day. Ow!
Jackie!
Look at this girl. Come get some.
She's gonna break an ankle.
Yeah.
Are we doing crazy high heels?
Fucking yeah, I'm doing super heels.
Let's go.
No, I don't like it.
Oh, and you're gonna try to nervous climb.
Yeah.
Looks great though.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not feeling it.
The soccer calves are popping. It looks great. All of it's good. Go to whistlepigwhiskey.com or click the link in the YouTube description. Get the barrel-aged maple syrup to make yourself an old-fashioned as well. Jackie's kind of on the verge of nervous climbing right now. She's climbing her chair.
Yeah.
She's playing with the paper and this fucking screwdriver.
Yeah.
You're still nervous somehow. The star of Surviving Barstool Season 2 sits with us here today. Jackie Nichols, getting some praise from Dave Portnoy.
Oh?
What did he?
On his show, Dave was talking about just in general that he thinks it's a very good production. This is actually legit, maybe the highest praise Dave will give another person. He said it's so good that it makes him consider doing
I saw
it.
that. Yes.
But he said that nobody other than he, Dan, and Dave should ever be just like declining these opportunities. Yeah. And he gave a really nice shout out to Caroline because Caroline's also launching her new podcast. Huh?
I was just going through that in my head.
Yeah,
that something didn't
no,
sound
that
right.
was-
Oh yeah. Right. He gave a really nice shout out to Caroline because like she started her new podcast and she's always hopping on everything. And then he threw you in there as well for saying yes. And he said the KFC girl. So that's what
I'll take it.
yeah.
I'll take it.
He said this is their first introduction to you. But it was while it was like said in the same. He was talking about Caroline, and then he was like, and you know what I mean. So it was like very high praise for her, and then throwing you in there, and that was all a packaged attempt to trash Rico for saying no. So that's really what it was. But and then I didn't get there yet, but Clem told us that he gave a huge shout out to Nick for the intro because the intro. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm mixing things up now. He gave a huge shout out to you for the intro in Game of Stools.
Yeah.
Saying, and that was also
That was also
way to take
yeah.
a shot at his guys, who he said nobody has ever done anything as good as that.
Yeah,
so.
he quote tweeted the other day, and it was just when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's just taking a shot at Gaz. But yeah, no, he said like he thought it was
It's a little
great.
bit of both.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely doing that, but it's because that's a fucking awesome.
Well, then
in
hats off to both of you.
guys, yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's the most praise KFC has ever gotten. So, nice job.
Two times the praise.
In one day, 3 years of flying under the radar just went out the door.
Yeah, well, that's
But
it's,
for good
it's
reasons.
a good thing. You want to
Yeah.
get on the radar for good reasons. When he's a first impressions guy, so and especially if he's watching and he sees that you made it to the Final Four.
Well, then he's about to think that I'm a huge bitch because
Jackie
I'm so caught up on it.
Well, listen, the world of reality TV is that the producers get to do what they want with you while, editing out all their mistakes and all of the times they might have fucked up. I don't know, though. I didn't think that made you look like that big of a bitch.
I'm just so in my head about it.
Yeah,
Like,
clearly.
Can you tell? Because I haven't seen the episode. I don't know what it is.
so basically, like,
Little inside baseball here. We're doing this episode on Wednesday, like we always do. So it has not aired yet.
Right.
I'm overanalyzing everything because I'm like whatever. But there's one scene where first of all, like Grace starts crying and I'm like standing next to her and
Just for fun? Like, why is she crying?
she was just crying for funsies. No, she was crying because she lost the challenge.
All right, first of all, do you think that's unreasonable for me to think that someone who's been sleeping up for 4 days just
started to cry?
started
Yeah,
to
that's a
cry?
good point. That's a good
Grace
point.
Grace loses this puzzle challenge, and
Another puzzle challenge.
a different Grace loses this maze challenge.
Okay.
It's like a maze and a puzzle kind of combined, and she feels like there's a real target on her back, and I think in her head she's like, I needed that immunity or I'm gone.
Yeah.
So I said like, Grace, you're looking emotional. She's like, I'm not crying. And then they run this.
I gotta be honest. It's at this point, like, this is like Grace getting this far is like,
I mean,
it's like when like a team that finished fucking 4-12 last year makes the
Sneaks
playoffs.
in the playoffs.
You're like,
Yeah.
not a bad season.
So she then there's this like confessional part where she talks about how badly she needs the money. And it's the first time that anybody has really talked about the money. The money is a big prize, $10,000. Everybody in the pool could use it. But it really does not become about the money. It becomes about like winning. But then she was like, I kind of downplayed the money. Like I do need the money. Which was a very real life moment of like, oh fuck. Like,
Yeah.
That
So
is an
nobody knew.
underlying thing in all Barstool reality shows that I like. Because no one knows what anyone makes, but people have ideas.
Yeah.
And you at least know like where people are
what
stationed.
tier you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it is kind of interesting to see like contestants probably like doing that in their head, being like, well, fucking.
Well, I
I don't
remember.
even know on this one.
remember-
Kim doesn't need the fucking money.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we voted her off too.
Yeah.
Because we were like, she doesn't fucking need the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember last year.
Sorry, Kim. You've lived a good life.
Well, oil.
Yeah. So anyway, but that
Well, because then
That
the
and I guess
part
what,
that
they cut
bothered
to
me
you and-
was like the only part that like whatever was she goes because she had texted me because I didn't know about the money that she was gonna give it to her family, so she texted me being like, I didn't tell you this before, but like this money actually means a lot to me. Like I was gonna give half of it to my family, and so I texted being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that. If it makes you feel any better, like it's only $6,000, and like the runners up usually get more money in Venmo for sympathy. Like that you're gonna make much more if you're not the winner." And then I said, "But like
that happened once.
what?
That only happened one
I know,
time.
but like
What will happen
ended
100% of surviving Barstool times?
True.
Yeah, 100%.
There has never been a surviving Barstool where that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But that was a very specific situation with a very weird and rabid group of fans. But you're right.
Well, I was
It
like,
could
if you
happen.
give your Venmo out, there's a high chance that like you'll get whatever. And so then I was like, but like I said after, I was like, but like if you really want, like I'll like switch places with you. I had no idea about the money, and I wasn't. But I'm just
What
saying
does
the
switch
only
places
thing
mean?
like I'll tell the guys to like vote me and not you, which like I didn't really know how I felt about it at the time, but like I just felt bad in the moment, and so like
You said that?
You're gonna take a
I
dive?
texted that to her, but the only part that they read
Oh, so they
was
didn't
them
play- yeah.
saying it's like Grace said
That's
she only
bullshit.
said
This chick
the
was
way-
willing to give up herself, but they just
and
don't show
the only
that
part that she read
Ain't
was
ain't that reality
Jackie
TV,
said
though?
it's only $6,000. So it sounds like
That's so much better though.
no, but it's so fucked up.
Not for
'Cause
you.
not for me. 'Cause it sounds like
You're like,
Grace
I
was
just got back from Dubai. It barely gets you anything over there.
It's only the fact I'm gonna Jackie. It's only $6,000 nickels. Yeah, buddy.
like I didn't. There was so much
Do you have
context
any
around
idea
it.
how much a camel ride to dinner costs?
Fuck off.
Wouldn't even get you halfway there. That is funny though that you could just see. I mean, you know these guys, Logan and Rob. They're fucking. They're evil. They don't see you guys as humans. They see you as just meat fucking puppets to turn into their little game.
Love the term meat puppets.
I could see him being like, "That's
No,
nuts."
and then
Like we'll chop that moment of like outpouring of love and emotion. Goodbye.
And then she was like, so then when we were all looking for the idol, I was hoping that they would like show that footage because we were all like buddy laughing together. And then Grace kind of made it seem like we were all like, it was like me and the guys being like a pick-me girl and like not talking to Grace. But like we were all one happy family. So it just makes me look so bad. Like I'm like, it's only
But-
$6,000.
Okay.
And then I'm all
That's not great. But I don't know. I didn't like. I watched it and I didn't. I
Okay.
wasn't like, oh boy.
I
don't
also
know.
wouldn't like. I also wouldn't know how to reply to that kind of like.
That's I was gonna say that's
like-
also kind of bullshit in like the middle of this game to be like, let me fucking like, or I don't know. By the way, she should have done that like openly to everybody and kind of like pulled on.
Or
everybody's
I guess I
heartstrings.
would have been like, yeah, I'm doing the same or something like that.
Well,
I
the
would have
thing
pulled
that
up. I would have
should
pulled a
said
Francis
was
and been
it's
like,
only-
I have cancer.
Yeah.
I can't do that, but yeah, I could have.
I mean, I don't know. So Dave said if he were to be in charge of this, he would make it $100,000, which we thought was gonna happen last year because season 1 was such a success. I was like, they're gonna pump this shit up and make it like a big thing. And then they did like 50 other game shows in between. I think if we had like one game show,
Yeah.
and it was Surviving Barstool, and it was a huge prize, that would be awesome. So that didn't happen. But he also said he would make everybody give up their phones. Sorry, make everybody
That's
give up their
interesting.
phones, which is tough because you are still like living the rest of. Although you guys really weren't. You guys were doing like
We were not.
24/7.
Yeah.
In the
It didn't
past,
play
it was
back
like,
then.
or last season, it was like, okay, we did a little talking. Now I got to go like post this thing, and
Yeah.
you guys were playing the game anyway. So you probably how much did you use your phone for not?
Well, they told us
texting
before
with-
they were like, it's like again, this is a TV
Yeah,
show.
you
This is
should
gonna be
do
on
it.
TV.
But
So
there
I
was-
didn't.
but there
But
was a lot of
there was
texting.
occasional
Yeah.
times where like,
But how many times were you like using your phone? I guess like at night you were like maybe before bed just scrolling through.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
but
Like,
I didn't even
I
have
think you
time to
probably
look at my
could.
phone.
Yeah, I think you probably could. At first, I was like, I think that's unrealistic. But now that I thought about how much you guys were just constantly deliberating and talking and all that shit, you probably could take away the phones.
By the way, you'd have to make it 100K to take away people's phones.
That's
Like,
you know,
I'm
that's
gonna
the
get my
other thing.
phone
I
for a
think
week?
People are gonna
It's
And,
also like a
Che
social
would be
media
like,
company.
I have kids. Like if it was me, I'd be like, I can't do that. You know, there's a lot
but
of shit.
But like Che, if Che was like, I have kids. Like, well, here's the good news: you're in an office with 1,000 people.
Yeah.
They can.
We
get
will
to
find
you.
out. Yeah.
But it's also like I could do that because I'm not like social media, but like they probably
You're
can't.
not like social media.
I'm not. Well,
You're not what? You're not what? Continue the
Well, I'm
sentence.
I'm senior producer
You're
of
not.
the show.
I'm
You're
not
not
like
what?
social
So
media.
I'm not-
This is like in Sunny when the waitress says, "I don't have the email," and he's like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
But I don't have the
not
email.
like
Like I don't
social
have
media.
the social accounts. I'm not.
She's like, who
You
said the
have-
wrong thing in that sentence?
You have your own social media.
Well, yes. Now technically,
Everybody
I have
has social media.
Everybody has social media, and I have
Now?
social media.
Did you say now? Like you haven't had it prior to
Well,
this?
it's just now that I am a star,
Yes.
I have
Okay.
social media.
Yes.
But before,
Yes.
like it wasn't
Told
even.
this bitch she's got to start
I
posting
know,
more.
I know. It makes me so.
Ja-
feel
Ja-
so
I
bad.
actually,
worse.
I
So
very
funny.
much like Jackie's social media aesthetic, where it's just like, I'm
her
drunk
not
on a
doing it?
Saturday night. Here's
Yeah.
a blurry bathroom
Yeah.
pic.
Well, that's why I've always said I just want to try to find the perfect balance for you because if you change that, you change the essence of Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stay that way, you're not gonna grow to where I think you should grow to.
I just like to keep them on their toes. Sometimes it's blurry bathroom pics. Sometimes it's like a lot of rants about something dumb. Sometimes it's like a lot of like the last one's like
What you should
miscorrection.
do is just
Did you see your
Double
most
that.
recent TikTok?
no
gold mine. Gold mine.
gold mine. Let's
It
play.
didn't go like it didn't do that well.
You're
but, like-
stunning. I can't believe it.
I know.
I'm
It's crazy.
shocked. Usually these go flying off.
Well, the last one got 1 million.
You know what I would say to you? You know how you said it takes double for you to do everything?
Yeah.
Like how about we just kind of nip that in the bud and you just start doing double what you do. So if you do one drunk blurry picture a weekend, do 2. And if you do one rant a
You
week,
want me to do some
2.
more drunk blurry pictures? I can do some more drunk blurry pictures.
What's your name on TikTok?
J underscore.
That's funny. That's fucking funny.
Thank
That's
you.
funny.
That
you.
should blow up.
Well, I can't take full credit because I saw one guy's and it was like.
Oh, so you stole this.
Well, it was like when like trying to be a curb social hit. So I was like trying to be the top of the doorway. So
Oh,
That's
all right, no,
that
that's
is-
good.
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank
yeah.
you.
Very funny. Superstar, I'm telling you.
I know. But what was I even saying before?
I don't know,
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
post more. I'll post
Yeah,
more.
you
from
post
now
more.
on. So follow me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about the edit and how you look. I think that you come off as like a what's it called?
What I've seen,
Like
I missed the
face,
first
like a
episodes.
baby
I've
face.
seen 2 and 3. I see you come off as very Jackie. There's
Yeah,
very
which is
genuine.
perfect.
There's very
Chaotic,
I think
very-
I said on the post show last night. Mad Dog,
Yeah.
the microdosing producer, said I can't tell if Jackie's 200 IQ or 0 IQ, which is the Jackie experience.
I can't tell you. I was in the whole day being like, I can't tell if I'm being really smart right now, if I'm being really dumb.
I still can't tell what you did
out
in in episode 3. I
I
can't
will-
tell if you masterminded or if you fell ass backwards.
Well, so, okay.
Big shout out to Mattress Firm for making Surviving Barstool happen. It's one of my favorite things that I do in my career now, and to have them make sure that season 2 was as successful as it was, giving us all the mattresses, and the Mattress Firm suite was such an important part of the season. So thank you to them, and thank you to them for unjunking my sleep with high quality. I'm gonna get here. Question: can I get one of the electrical adjustable beds, or does that make me 190 years old? Or third option, it makes me 190 years old, but fuck it. Like, you know, because it's always the old people in the commercials where they're like their legs are going up and they're. But it also, I laid in one the other day and it's like really fire. Like to get your legs up and then you.
I think I would say I can't do electrical bed.
I can.
I think you can.
So disrespectful. That is the meanest thing.
Well, but here's
you have ever
my
said
thing
about
with
me.
it, because I've said this about my stuff about mattresses, and I don't know. PG-13, we're good. My mattresses, I like a spring.
Bounce back?
I like a little bounce back, and I don't know how much bounce back you're gonna have on a motorized.
No, it's just like a fucking spring mattress,
Yeah?
but you can also move it around.
Okay.
And also, you know, you can move it around.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, but America needs sleep. I love that. It's like running for Congress or something. America needs sleep, and you got to unjunk your sleep, and you can do that with a Mattress Firm mattress, whether it's an adjustable one, whether it's springs, whether it's the temperature controlled, the molding to you, whatever you want, and they'll give it to you for 120 nights for free. How many months is that, John?
Throw out 4.
Bam, that was quick for you. That was very good. It's a low price guarantee and the 120 night guarantee. To unjunk your sleep, go to mattressfirm.com or Mattress Firm store today to speak with a sleep expert.
The
I'll say
intentions
this,
were
What
mastermind.
the producers really should have done, there is so much like, and they know what's going on, and like the producers watch everything. You almost need like, if I was producing this, I would put like a graphic on the screen and be like, Jackie, like earlier today agreed with Stephen Che to do this, but like 3 p.m. like. Also promise the same thing to Eddie, and that, you know, whatever, and then you kind of like understand the lay of the land.
To quickly break it down was like at the start of the day. Well, so I went into the day like just being like, okay, let's just see how the challenge goes, and then I was like, I like don't want to be just the guys like running this whole thing. I want to try and like flip it to the girls, because then like with the guys I was like
that was very smart.
A for sure final 4, and with the girls I could be a for sure final 3 if we had like had the numbers. So then I like got both of them and I told them everything, but in order for the guys not to be suspicious that I was having conversations with the girls, because every single time you had a conversation somebody walked in, so I knew that I had to like address it beforehand. So I told the guys, I was like, I know for a fact that the girls are going to try and pull me in, and like this was all that they didn't get, because this like my thought process made it a little bit more clear. But I also know that producing is hard. Whatever. Okay. Sorry. I'm doing it again. I'm getting nervous and I want to climb right now. So then I, what was I just saying? Okay. So then I told the guys, I was like, here's the thing is I have a feeling that the girls are going to try and get me and Rudy to all like join alliance. And because they had like also said like, I'm worried about that. So I was like, they're starting to like try and have conversations with me.
So like if you see me having a conversation,
so like
with them,
if you
that's
see
it.
me, that's it.
But meanwhile, you were having this conversation saying,
but I was like, but I'll go tell, I'll have the conversation. I'll tell you what they say. So then I had the conversations like with them, but then I was like really actually trying to like persuade them. And I like told them everything, but the guys had already gotten to Grace at that point. So, okay, sorry. Okay. When Grace walks in, she's like on the floor. We had already had our first conversation being like, it's the girls, like whatever. But so then she came in and like thought that I was playing her when she saw me with the guys.
right. She was like, this doesn't look good.
She was like,
so then
okay.
she just sits down.
So she sits down. She was like, I'll do whatever you want. Let's vote Caroline out. Like, and then like, I was so annoyed. Like my face was like, oh my God, shut up. Because there was, right now the plan was to go 2 and 2 so that like if us 3 had voted, it would have knocked the guy, like we would have gotten a guy out. If I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. But like, that
doesn't make sense.
It makes more sense in your head. But the point being that
Yeah.
you had a thing in place, and then by her coming in and doing that, it fucked it all
And then
up.
Grace was like, well, why don't we just all vote for like Caroline,
and you're
whatever.
Like, no.
So it fucked
we had
it all
an
up.
idea that was gonna get the guys out. Yeah.
So then we had this whole mastermind plan to like fake it with Eddie, get Rudy out because we thought that he had the ring, whatever. Point is, then Grace pulls me aside after and was like, I'm working with the guys.
That was insane.
It was so
You guys
funny.
had the three of you just had like a conversation,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, like good talk. You guys like turn, and within 1 second, she's like, Jackie, I'm going with the guys.
Yeah, it was,
Caroline
wait,
was like, what
5
was
more
that?
seconds.
And you were like, yeah, what was that?
It was so because then
that was shady. She was like, yeah, that was shady. And then that's when she started humming and singing, and it was
so
fucking
funny.
insane.
I'm running.
That was shady. What's
That was shady.
What did you say?
Yeah.
And I was like, Grace, what the heck was up with that? And she was doing her Boston accent, which means she's lying.
No, wait. When you wish upon a star.
Okay, you guys are going. No. I'm sorry.
Makes no difference.
What did you
Just who you are.
Then she sang a song, which was so weird. So she's not capable of lying. So I know she's lying.
Everything you dream.
Are you just singing because you're nervous right now?
Grace, what is going on?
We debated on the after show. I think final verdict, like final answer, lock it in. Her singing was a good move because she didn't go home.
I saw that.
She didn't end up going home, so you got to say that song wiggled her out of that lie.
Right, it's like when a manager like does like a pretty questionable like,
But it worked out.
a pinch hit, and you're like, well, I mean, it was the wrong play, but it
But
worked.
it worked out. Yeah. Results are all that matters. you know?
Because if she had like been like,
If she-
I'm like
I was
working with the
saying
guys.
There was an equal chance that she could have said, "Oh my God, you're right. I'm so shady. I don't deserve it. You guys should vote for me. Send me home." There was an equal chance of that than there was of her singing "When You Wish Upon a Star."
And I was just like,
How
this is
long
like
did that
a
go
real
on?
mental breakdown.
like when, because it was it was weird.
She
and it
sung
was
for a
long
while.
enough that we were like, "What the fuck?" But then like, walk me through.
Okay.
She like finishes the song, and then were you guys just like, "Okay, see you later"?
Well, so it took us a while. It took at least me a while to realize that she was like singing because because right before with this. Okay, so the serendipity thing. Can we talk about the serendipity?
Okay,
thing?
yeah. So the other thing, which
I'll come back to that. after this.
I don't know. I know these episodes are almost like an hour long anyway, and they probably got to cut some things. But one of the biggest things that happened was a attempted power play by Grace. God bless her. Because I was about to say on Twitter, if you guys thought that the singing was crazy, like that technically might be her second wildest
This was
move.
the funniest part of the whole.
She took a UPS receipt. Not even like she didn't even go find paper.
It wasn't even
She just found,
folded
like,
right.
Yeah, it was like a sticky piece of paper, and she writes on it in like block letters, like a ransom note, so you can't tell handwriting. What do you remember exactly what it said? Because it was so convoluted and stupid that I can't even remember exactly.
Well, so
what it said.
so when she's sitting down like on the floor in the room with like me, Rudy, Eddie, Che, she goes like we're all like debating, and she just goes, "Does serendipity mean anything to anyone?" Does serendipity mean anything?
I picture like Michael Scott. I declare serendipity.
Like we all thought that she was giving like a pep talk.
Because the note said, if you have the idol,
It was-
or if you know who has the idol.
If you have the idol, wait, okay, so she's sitting there and she goes, "Does serendipity mean anything to anyone?" And we were like, "Are you like about to give it like a pep talk?" Like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
The whole time we were like quoting like whatever. So then she like we're all like, "No, like I have no idea," and she then like is like, "I found this note, serendipity, in the mailbox upstairs," and we were like, "What?" And it's also funny. It was so everybody's reaction was so like I was
is
like
happening?
I was like, I actually don't know what serendipity means. And Che was like, "Do you want the definition of serendipity?" Like all this, and Rudy was just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like everybody's whatever. So then like we all go up to the mailbox. Rudy and like Eddie have like they're like holding bats, and like Grace gets up to go, and Rudy was like, Rudy and I were like, "You stay fucking here," and they're like holding her up at gunpoint, basically, like while she's staying there. Like the whole thing was, Che and I go up. He finds the note. The note was like the serendipity thing. It was like if you have the idol, say serendipity to make a.
It was like if
To make
you
an alliance.
know who has the idol, or if you have the idol, use the word serendipity in casual conversation. And like, I will come find you to form an alliance.
But it's like,
With
why would the
who?
person have the idol?
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I can't like. It's not exactly that, but all of it was so convoluted that I was like, all I know is that it made no sense for her target of that note to do what it asked.
We all were like, we don't even. And I mean,
But she
everyone knew it
was,
fake, no.
you know what? Also, I got to say this. Behind the scenes, you guys were doing more gameplay than I knew.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the dark. Like, the producers don't tell me anything. As a viewer at that point, I guess this is really only affecting me because everyone else that's ever going to see this is watching behind the scenes.
Yeah.
From my point of view, you guys were just doing nothing ever.
Yeah.
It was just like, nope, everybody is a good competitor and we're going to like vote together. And when I promised to do, I said that I do it every time. And I was just like, can somebody do something Survivor-esque? And I at least gave Grace credit for that. I was like, I don't know, you're trying something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just this robot over here being like, you're good and you're bad. And then, you know, when the viewers got to see it and I got to see it as a viewer, I was like, all right, they had this plan and this and that. But
My
you know,
brain
at
was,
that
like,
point, I was
on
like, at least
fire
Grace
from
is
making
doing something, albeit the dumbest thing in the world.
I have no. She
Does
was. I don't even know
serendipity
what it
mean anything?
Yeah, so we were all quoting it like the whole time, like, does serendipity mean anything to anyone? So then when she starts singing, I kind of thought that she was going on like one of her like we should all be together like rant or whatever. So then it like took me a while. I was like, is she trying to like say another like clue or whatever? I just did because she's a wild
And what
card.
did Caroline do?
Caroline was just like, is she fucking singing right now? Like, what is going on? I was like, are you singing because you're nervous? The best part of that whole clip is after I was like, are you just singing because you're nervous right now? And she was, no.
Yeah, I mean, I said like the only person who has the like more nervous jitters and is less cool under fire than you is her.
Dude, I feel like a fucking like mastermind compared to her.
You were. Oh no, you. I mean, you had a legitimate, you know, mastermind moment, but compared to her, you were.
I also said on the show, on the after show last night, I didn't really understand the girls switching with the guys thing, and then I thought you did a very good job expressing why that happened. Where you're like, I thought if I didn't agree to that alliance, they would
vote you
vote.
off.
They would like target me and vote me off, and I think that's a pretty logical.
Also, the guys were just the more aggressive players.
Yeah.
So when a group of people, guys or girls, come up to you and say, if you do this, you will get to the final four, and then if you make it further than that, we promise to all vote for you to win. And then the other group of girls, or the other group of people, in this case being the girls, are just kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
You'd be like, all right, yeah, I guess, you know, we're all the same gender, but these people over here just promised me a fuck ton.
Right.
It's
And
also
I'm sure if there was a robot on their side, of the girls' side, being like, this, maybe you would have gone with them. But
Yeah.
it did make more sense to go with like the more aggressive players.
It was also like I kind of said this at like the tribunal that's gonna come out tonight or whatever. But like Che was a technical leader, but it wasn't really like that way until kind of the end. Like it was at first like they were just all one packed. And so then it was like so hard to break them because like I knew like if I had tried to like infiltrate and be like, oh, like you two come over here, like they weren't like breaking, like they were just one unit.
tight, yeah.
And so there wasn't a point in like trying to like even when we tried with Rudy, like Rudy was just, first of all, he just like didn't get the picture that I was like being serious. Like that just totally backfired. But also it was like, even if he would have just been like, no, I'll have Grace. So then I instantly realized that like when they got Grace, I was like, oh, they'll just flip me for Grace and have them on there or whatever.
Right.
So it was just a tough situation to be because they were like one unit.
But that's where like
But we had the numbers.
Che not using the idol to save Grace and bounce Rudy is just it's wrong. It's the wrong play. And I know Che thinks that he has these assurances from you guys. At some point, in order to win, you're gonna have to cross somebody.
Yeah.
And that was the point. That was the exact point he could have kept the last place contender and got out the guy who's come in second place by a hair every single challenge. And first of all, it would have been awesome. It would have been like a great moment on television to be like, I promise you I won't vote for you. I promise you I won't do this. Bam, you're going home, Rudy.
Yeah.
Like, it would have just been a cool snake move, and everyone would have been gasping, and it would have been a whole thing. But also, you chose to keep a better competitor in the game. At some point, somebody's going to have to win and lose.
Yeah.
And you just made it harder for yourself by keeping the best competitor, physical competitor in there, and not keeping the girl who was so frazzled that you could make her do whatever you want. That's just the wrong move. I don't care what Che's robot brain says.
But also, if he had done that, I would have been like, okay, so Pac's out. And then, like, at that point, like, if all of that was out the window, I would have been like, okay, then like this alliance isn't a thing anymore. Grace, Rudy, like Eddie, let's get Che out.
Well, everybody seemed very convinced that if Grace made it to the finals, she was going to be like winning a sweep. And I just don't know if I agree with that. I think a lot of people were almost thinking about like if viewers were voting. Like Grace is very funny and likable, but I think when you're in games like this, viewers are like, fuck Tommy. He's a snake and a liar and a rat and he's annoying and he wants to win this so bad. He doesn't deserve it. And players are like, he's annoying, he's a liar, he's a snake, and that's why he does deserve it. Because they're a part of the game, you know? So I don't know if Grace would have gotten all those votes because I think they would have been like, all Grace did was like lie badly and cry and sing, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that was Che's a part of his game. But yeah, I think
I just think it comes down to like he was.
When you get so sure of yourself.
It just comes down to like likability too in like the office, and
that's true too.
He just didn't ever try to cover his tracks. I mean,
in that regard, he was never
in that
trying
regard,
to be
like he was not thinking. He was just thinking strategy, but like it's likability.
That's part of the game too, for sure. So
I gotta say, it is so hard to talk about this as someone who's bad at math. Because
it's not.
I can see you're kind of like.
It all feels like one of those questions where it's like, if Jackie, Eddie, and Steven are a team, but Rudy and Grace promise this, and like, I'm like, I read those math problems, and I'm like, I'm out.
It's the same thing as Final Jeopardy when you have to wager the right amount of money.
And
it's like, well, if I wager this much, and he can double his money and tie me, so I got to do this plus $1, and it's not that easy in the moment.
This is why. Oh my God, this is why I was coming in.
Jackie didn't even think about a tie once.
I just
she was
didn't
like,
do
I never
the
even
math.
considered the possibility that there could be a tie.
My brain, that day especially was the hardest I've ever thought in my entire life. Like my brain was on fucking fire.
I get that. I'd be like, I haven't thought like this since probably high school.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's basic math. There's 6 people or 8 people or 7 people, and that means there's an odd number, an even number, and you just add them all up. But it's like. It's not that easy because you forget about
a spreadsheet of it, but like there's also like if you have time to make the spreadsheet, whatever. But in real time, when you're like trying to day like whatever,
like
and you're not making fucking spreadsheets, you're like, this is so. That's why I was like, this is so fucking real to me right now. Because this is whatever. It was wild shit. That's all I'll say. Fucking watch if you haven't watched.
We'll see. So Final Four Nichols over here, representing for the girls. Last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. It was the worst. The worst. Bro! It went right in my ear. Was that on?
Did I get you?
Yes. Thank God.
How'd you know I didn't shower today? Yeah, you got
Dude,
it all
was
over.
just that wasn't even a laugh. That was just a genuine cough. I'm sorry.
Genuinely. He's not doing too hot.
Bro, that went right
I got on
in my
YouTube.
ear.
No, fuck. I'm sorry.
That is hilarious. That was very funny.
That was the big set. It was a full mouth of water to spit.
Okay, let's start because Brittany is cool enough to just laugh this off. Who would be the worst guest to do a full-blown fake Hollywood spit take type of like right on their face? Who do you think would be the worst?
The worst we've ever had, or the worst worst possible?
Let's do both.
Kanye.
Kanye would be tough.
Bro, Kanye, no,
would
because
be-
Kanye's a wild card. Kanye might just start like lapping it up.
He might spit back at you.
No.
He'd
Start the building on fire.
Yeah, you're probably right on that.
No.
God damn.
We had one of the worst interviews ever with Kathy Griffin.
Yeah,
And
that
if I could
one.
just spit in her face. That would be pretty. That might be great.
What guess? We're trying to think who would get mad at us spitting in their face. Like,
Pretty much all of
I
them.
don't know. Pretty much everybody but Brittany, probably.
I'm cool with it. I'm down for it.
That's a great trait to have.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about Kid Cudi walking off stage for getting a water bottle thrown. I feel like I should walk out. Right?
Yeah.
If you had any self-respect, you'd be done with us. But
I don't.
Gladly, no,
Like-
yeah. I don't think I could ever, even if I got like really famous, if something like that happened, like, and it was just like an honest mistake, I just don't think I could ever get famous enough where I'd be like an asshole to people over like regular mistakes.
Let's wait and see.
Well, I just said that because I've also been like, there have been times where if someone like refuses to take a picture, I'm like, you're an asshole, just do it. But then in my very brief experience with that, it is sometimes there are like, oh, if I take a picture
It's annoying.
now, it's gonna, and then other people are gonna, and I just can't do it right now.
Yeah.
So you start to learn like not everyone that you think's an asshole is actually being an asshole. They're just being more whatever.
Well, I think celebrities get a bad rap too. They're like, that person's an asshole, and it's like, no, they're getting bombarded every second of every day. It's like I am like I open for Theo Vaughn, and he every single time we're talking like out anywhere, he talks to everyone, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I will.
Well, I've always thought that like that was like that's almost what the gig is. Like I enjoyed this part, and then the hard part is making sure everyone's happy and gets pictures and whatever else they want. But yeah, that shit gets hard.
Yeah, it's
eventually.
exhausting.
We were at a bar recently, a crew of us, and a guy who just wasn't with our crew was just like, he just became part of our crew and was just there.
Yeah.
And eventually it was like,
you should have done a spit take on it.
We did. We did. We poured beer on his seat, and he sat in it happily.
It's a good defense mechanism.
I didn't know that. I missed that part.
Yeah, no, we poured beer into his chair.
Wow.
And then he just
Remind me not to cling on with you guys. Jesus Christ.
And then we kicked him in the face.
Yeah,
we beat his ass.
Poured beer in his chair. He just happily sat in it.
Wow.
And then we made fun of him for pissing his pants the rest of his night. No one else got it.
Honestly, and for him, it was probably the best night of his life. He's telling his friends how much fun he had. You guys were just trying to get rid of him the whole time.
You ever create super inside jokes that no one else gets? And you're like, God, this is so funny, but no one else even cares at all. Like, the guy I'm making fun of to his face doesn't get it.
I don't get how some people just don't. One of our like mantras here is just be normal. Just be a normal person, and it's shocking.
I think that's bad advice now.
It's impossible.
Because I think there's just so few like this is normal. Like, no. You're so fucking abnormal. It's insane.
So I guess
everyone's
need
mentally
to
ill.
like learn.
Everyone's mentally
learn normal. And then,
mentally ill.
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's staggering how few people can just like, I don't know. We're in a room at the same time. We introduce ourselves. You have a quick conversation and just like you're normal. Like that's it. Like just be normal.
I
can't do it.
I got to throw the flag on myself. I
just spit all over her. You're ruining it. You're ruining it.
I gotta own that one. Like, if you gave me advice 5 minutes ago that said be normal, I would have already broken it.
That is true. Number 1 on how to be normal. Don't spit all over their face.
I don't think the pandemic helped either, because everyone was just inside with their thoughts for a long time. And now everyone's outside with their thoughts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of thoughts.
Remember, keep your inside thoughts inside. You're in New York for how long?
Till Thursday.
You, I would imagine, hate it.
I like it in small doses. I want to like it more because part of me wants to live here. Like I want to like come out here because stand-up is so much better out here.
That's true.
But I just get anxiety, and it's just trash and piss and determination.
Definitely don't trash, piss, and determination.
I like to stand up for New York occasionally. Now, are you from? I know you live in LA.
I'm from Wisconsin, so
okay.
stand up for New
you
York.
ate Young Gravy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Young Gravy's he went
Is he from Wisconsin?
He went to university. He's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Went to University of Wisconsin.
Did he graduate?
Yeah, he did.
He's a smart guy.
But he knew it. Whatever. Never mind.
No, he didn't. We were making that up. The snail?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of animal a snail is? Like what its classification is? Yeah. We all just went with like arachnopod
or something.
What? A mollusk?
I don't even know.
These are all you're all saying words I don't know. Yeah. But I like when people like so we have like employees from Chicago and stuff like that who come here, and one of their shticks is whenever they come to New York, they take a picture of trash on the street, and they're like, "What a beautiful city this is." But like every fucking city in the world puts trash on the street.
Sorry,
and then guess what? It gets picked up in the morning and it's gone in the morning. It's just out on the street right now because
where's it going?
The trash hasn't come. New Jersey.
to the ocean.
Yeah, we're going.
We're polluting with it.
We actually shove it under the financial district. This isn't real. This is just a floating island of trash.
All the buildings are just made of trash.
Manhattan really is actually built on top of a trash.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's like floating. By the way, a snail is a mollusk. That's how I got
No way, dude.
Mollusca, slugs, and molluscum phylum. So fuck you.
When I tell you, I was really that's the only class of animal I know.
That is.
Like, what are the chances of that?
That's incredible.
Fucking mollusk. Unreal. It's like the cliche thing to make fun of New York in that way, but also sometimes it's like that is true. I also think if you go to any city and you pick on like the worst traits of that city, it's like, yeah, this place sucks. But also,
I mean-
if you want to go to a Broadway show or a stand-up comedy show or a fucking this or that, it's like the greatest place in the world.
Yeah.
Buy a
But I
couch at
also
2
think-
a.m. Done.
Yeah,
You
like,
do it.
literally whatever you want.
I think LA in small doses is awful too. Like I didn't enjoy
in
LA
small doses?
Yeah, until I lived there because you go there and it's just like
that
not-
actually might be true. I almost think they're kind of like reverse.
It's like maybe if I
because-
lived here, I would understand it better and enjoy it more, but I don't, and I'm just
Because I've never done
constantly
LA for more than
overwhelmed.
like 48 hours, 50 hours.
yeah,
something like
and
that.
it's kind of garbage, right? Or do you like? it?
I don't dislike it. I
Okay.
don't love it. I don't dislike it. It's fine.
It's a hard
It is what
city
it
to like
is.
navigate quickly because it is so sprawled
big,
out, and
yeah.
it's like if you stay in the city for a weekend, you can hit like the Village and the this and the that, and it's like you did it, a lot of
Right.
it pretty quickly. LA is like you're doing one section. It's crazy how much it's just called. It's just you're not LA.
Right.
It should just not be called LA.
Right.
What do you mean?
Like some of these things that are like an hour and a half away should just be
Yeah.
called the suburb.
Just like,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
like
yeah.
It's
California and California Light. You know?
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah. It would be
it's
like,
a
if
small
you
state.
called like where Clem lives, fucking New York City. It's just not. It's
Yeah,
2
yeah.
hours away. It's
Yeah, Philadelphia's New York City.
yeah, that's basically what it's like saying. It's like get the fuck out of here. So yeah, Wisconsin. For how long? How long did you live there before you got out?
I born and raised in Wisconsin, and then I graduated from Marquette, and then I came out to LA.
So all right. So but yeah, you lived and did your growing
I did
up.
my
in-
time.
yeah.
Yeah, I
You did like a
did my
20-year
time.
bid.
Yeah, yeah.
in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Do you go back? Do you?
No, I don't like. I don't. Every time I go back, I'm like, why do people live here? You know? Like I
It's
wonder.
That's the thing with New York too. Like it smells like piss. Like yeah, people piss outside here because so many people live here.
You're right.
It's that awesome.
Right.
Well, what we always say is that like there's people come to New York and they continue to come to New York even though it's expensive and crowded and
Right.
dirty, and because there's this other side of it that is genuinely awesome, or you can make the most money, or you could fuck the most people, or you could
Right.
go to the most clubs, whatever you like, But Wisconsin and Matt,
You can
some
also
of these
fuck a
places-
lot of people
You can
anywhere you go.
Yeah.
If you put your mind
I
to
guess
it, you
it's
can
so.
fuck a lot of people. The quality will be low.
That is the thing.
It will be farmhands.
The quality.
Bro, you know what I learned when I went to fucking Missouri?
Nothing.
Dude, this
Not a fucking.
This is
thing.
wild. So I'm a big hockey fan, and in 2019, the Bruins and the Blues were playing each other in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we were traveling back. We were going to every game, traveling back and forth, flying back and forth to the games. And one night I was in St. Louis, and we were at a club, and like I was like, "What is happening? Is it like a fucking like a theme night at the club? Like why are all the dudes with tables like dressed like farmers?" And they were like, "They're farmers.
They're farmers.
They just
Farmers
came
are
from
rich,
work.
just so you know."
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't realize that. I thought farmers were poor. Like, no, like a cow is worth like $30,000. They have 100 cows,
Wow.
and then they kill them every year and sell them. And I was like, but why
Was
don't
this
they?
like the 90s? I don't feel like farmers. I don't feel like
Dude.
farmers are rich anymore.
Dude,
I mean,
farmers are
think
fucked.
Jeff Bezos
Farmers
is
got
fucking-
cash, dude. Farmers is throwing around
not-
cash.
Not the ones I was fucking.
You're fucking the wrong farmers, girl.
I was in love with a pheasant farmer.
Yo, you gotta get up that cattle.
Yeah,
Cattle's
come on.
top
I
of the
mean,
food chain.
it was such a blessing that he didn't like me back because I would have had his babies and just raised pheasants in Wisconsin. I loved this man. And he was like, "You're meant for bigger things." And I was like, "No, I'm not."
he Harry and the
you
Henderson
out.
dude.
Yeah, he
He's
said,
like,
"Go
"I don't want you.
get
Get out of here. Go to LA."
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, "Go to California." I was like, "Fine."
Fine, I will.
The
he's up to.
self-awareness of that man.
Yeah.
Good for him, and very polite of him to just be like, "No, babe,
Yeah, no.
you don't want this for the rest of your life. This sucks."
He's like, "I'm an alcoholic, and I'm cheating on you."
And you're like, but the pheasants are so cute.
I didn't even know what a pheasant was.
Fucking farmer. It's a mollusk. It's fine. It's a
That's what-
A
mollusk.
full conversation on pheasants. I still don't know what they are. No, they're like, I know what a pheasant is.
But wait, so you grew up then? Because that was my next question. Is it like we're talking like rural?
Yes.
I struggle
Bro,
with that word. Rural Wisconsin.
pheasant farming.
Like so,
I didn't know
you're
you
in, like,
farmed. I thought pheasants.
I grew up in the
existed.
sticks. Yeah,
Yeah.
like kids would drive tractors to school
Get the fuck out.
and then bully me.
And now I wear cheetah pants, bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, my Ford Taurus wasn't good enough for you guys.
Getting bullied by the
People who drive
the tractor
tractors,
people
yeah.
is
Dude, I don't know. I
It's
feel like-
humbling. I was like,
feel
I gotta get out.
Yeah.
Or,
I feel like driving a tractor school is kind of sick. Like
I think
where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Not
unique
where
to
people
us.
drive tractors.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That's probably why it's more of like a.
It's like a
exotic.
novelty.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
a tractor
that'd be
driver.
fun. Yeah, no, it's an actual John Deere.
John Deere. Kenny.
Chesney's saying about those.
Yeah.
That is amazing. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you need Dave to help you. Let's play a game. Is this an ad read, or am I just talking about Barstool Sports? If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you need Dave to help you, are we talking about
This. Well, I can't play this game. I know the answer.
Does sound like a little bit of both now, doesn't it? Dave.com can help you get out of a pinch when you really need it. Dave Portnoy helps a lot of people out here just get money for nothing.
Yep.
I would argue Dave Portnoy is a bigger financial resource for people who are living paycheck to paycheck. But Dave.com certainly is right there challenging him. It's a banking app that allows you to get $500 instantly with
Do you know how
extra
fast
cash.
instantly is? Right away.
Right away. It's faster than this. It's
Immediate.
Instant. Too slow. That's not instant. Instant. It's faster than you can say instant. Nope.
Yeah, that's true. That's 2 instances.
Yep.
That's 3 now when you had it plural.
Can you say anything in an instant? One. Hey.
That chill is in the instant.
That was chill is
The
an
chill
instant.
happens in an instant.
That's a little bit faster.
I fucking made that happen
was
in
good.
my head.
You gave yourself the real chills.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only
can't do
thing
it
that can
again.
happen in an instant is those chills or $500
You feel my
cash
nipples to see it's real.
from Dave.com will give you $500 extra cash, whether that needs to pay an unexpected bill or buy a wedding gift or catch up on bills or something breaks or whatever, an unexpected cost that you didn't see coming. Dave.com will help you. No interest, no credit check necessary. And they can help you get the financial relief you need with that extra cash. So go to Dave.com, D-A-V-E. Go to download the Dave app, D-A-V-E. Download it from the App Store right now. Sign up for extra cash and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to Dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member FDIC. Future you will thank you. So you went from that's got to be like a culture shock. I mean, I guess you went to...
I went to Marquette, so
you
that
got a
was
little,
great. That was great.
That's like getting
Then I met
out
the basketball
and then-
team, you know. And I was like, I was like, we have arrived. I remember when I first got to Marquette, one of the guys I was dating, he was this white guy. He's like, has the basketball team found you yet? And I was like,
found me.
no.
Are they
Where
looking?
are they?
I was like,
I will find
and I found
That
him.
is a very funny thought.
I found all of them.
The thought of some fucking sophomore white kid at Marquette dating a new freshman being like, we can't let them find us. We need to keep her here as long as we can. It's inevitable, but it's just about how much can we get out of her first.
Yeah.
She's in rural Wisconsin. Okay, have you heard about black people?
No, I hadn't.
Dwayne Wade. That is... I found all of them.
Yeah, I found all of them.
I did. That is unbelievable. I feel like homie hopping is the term right now that's been thrown around a lot with girls who are running through a team or a group of friends or whatever.
Turns out the teammates don't love it.
No. Yeah, that's funny because for you it's like, I don't play on this team. You guys have to get along.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was I was dating this one guy, and I met him through one of his teammates, and then...
And he's on the team.
Yeah, he's on the team.
Okay.
And I met him through one of his teammates, and then he later in our relationship was like, you're fucking my teammates? And I was like, you
didn't know?
Yeah. That's how we met. I left him to go home with you. Do you not remember the night we met? He got mad about it.
I thought this was understood.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that'll tear apart a team real quick.
Right. Well, no,
is-
it didn't tear the team apart. It just
that.
teared that one person's psyche
that
apart.
was the Jets quarterback,
Yeah.
Zach Wilson. He lived with this dude. He was roommates, lived with him, teammates, and best friends from whatever. And that guy now is dating and fucking his ex-girlfriend.
Is he also on the Jets?
No, he's on the
He works at Domino's.
Well, he's on the Redskins, so basically, yeah. He's on the Washington Football Command, or whatever the fuck they are now. So Zach is now the quarterback for the Jets and doing big
Is
things.
Zach white?
Zach is white. They're both BYU.
They're all Mormons, so
yeah.
they're all- yeah.
So these are white guys.
They're not fucking their teammates.
That's more fun.
My teamate is soaking you.
Yeah.
Which actually might be worse.
That you
I think
just
I'd rather my
dip-
friend fuck you than soak you.
I don't know what soaking is.
Because the Mormons can't have real sex because
Right.
it's against God. They just put it in and leave it. And then they will even go as far to have
I thought they put it in the butt.
go. That's
Loophole,
yeah.
poophole.
Yeah, that's the other variation. But the other one, they'll have a friend go under the bed and put their feet up and push the mattress up and down.
Just start fucking.
Yeah,
Just start
at that point. My dick is just sitting in your pussy while someone else moves me, and that's less like.
Who is that friend?
A ride or die friend. That's it. Well, I would imagine the way it works.
The priest.
I would have in high school. I would have been that friend.
I think it's.
Be like, John, can you go move the bed for us? I'm like, yeah, I got you. I got you.
I would be willing to bet you have a I do it for you, you do it for me.
Probably, but I would have done it just for an ask.
Just
if someone just asked, like,
I think you would do it right now.
I would. Oh, I would. If you asked me to do it, I'd definitely do it.
That's why you're a good friend, but also why you're just the biggest pushover of all time.
100%.
Well, you.
So did they get to come?
I don't know if I could
think when you're
come
getting
for that.
pushed.
Well, you couldn't because you've had regular sex,
Yeah,
but a
but I guess
Mormon.
they could.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta really fucking push that mattress
Yeah.
to come.
I don't know, but when
It's
you're
gotta-
like a
it's gotta
young
be
boy,
pretty
don't you
awkward, though,
like
when, like-
sometimes just accidentally come?
Yeah,
So-
probably.
When I'm yelling at my boy Rick, I'm almost there.
My legs are
My
tired.
quads are burning. Drinking a protein shake. It's an IV afterwards.
Just thinking about some guy under the bed being like, fucking John's whiskey dick. He's never gonna come. I'm gonna have to go for 30 minutes tonight. God damn it.
John can't drink whiskey. He's a Mormon.
That's true. That is true. God. I mean, yeah, I can't. And that's not just Mormons, but any girl who's like, yeah, no, like, just fuck me in the ass because I'm a virgin.
Right, you're a slut.
Is like the logic is absolute. There was a girl in high school one girl who did that, and I remember being like, "This is the coolest girl in the world." But boy, is this a ridiculous line of logic.
No, that girl's got some dark shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
We
for
had
me,
a
I was
someone
like,
else already ran through the
I
other
was like,
hall. Uncle
left
John
some
already
demons
got her.
behind. Yeah.
We had a girl when I played hockey in high school, and one of the kids on the hockey team came back to the locker room once, and he's like, dude, I finally hooked up. He was dating this girl who was like very Catholic. I went to a Catholic boarding school, and
That tracks.
and and that happens a lot. That tracks.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I finally fucked her, and everyone's like, dude, like no way, like she let you fuck her, and he's like, yeah, but only in the ass, and everyone's like, oh, word, how'd you do that? He's like, dude, I just doused my dick in cologne and used it as lube. Cologne. And I was like, cologne is somehow a dry liquid. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
not-
like
that's not gonna
No, there's
cologne.
alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like very lubricant stimulating.
No, and also it would go in his dick hole and start her asshole on fire.
Look, I wasn't in the room at the time. I just know what I
Can
was
we call
told
him?
afterwards.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Nobody dunks their dick in cologne.
Yeah, that's actually probably true because this is the same hockey team where like I've told this before where like we were a hockey team, so we all shower together obviously, and
Gayest kids in the world.
and there's one time where we were all talking about like not all of us, there's probably 4 of us in the shower at this point, and we're on one stall.
The gangbang was over. We were all, it was just 4 of us.
And
left.
we're talking about like how long we have sex for. And I remember I was like, I'm usually like 40, 45 minutes. I was
Hilarious,
a virgin at the time. And everyone's like, yeah, it's about me too. It's about me too.
Hour 15.
I was like, all right, cool. We're all on the same page.
Is there like an equivalent for that with girls? Like when you're first starting to have sex, is there like a lie that girls would tell like that?
Oh, I lied. So basically,
just
I was
having it,
really
like-
sheltered. My mom wouldn't let me like leave the house pretty much ever. So I was allowed
tracks.
to. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That worked out well for her. So all the girls in my grade already were like dating and hooking up and stuff like that. So I just told people that I was
Yeah.
hooking
Yeah,
up.
right.
And
That would be the
so I had
lies.
sex before I did anything else.
You went right
I
right
literally
home.
just called a guy like from the football team over, and I was like, "Hey, come get it."
Are we talking even like you
and he
had
got
kissed?
it. I mean, sure.
No, but
Yeah.
you went from like not even kissing a boy to having sex with him?
No, I kissed
You had kissed
boys, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't do
Everything
any of the
else.
other stuff,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I just went straight to
Yeah.
losing my virginity. So
You know
I'm
what?
not every
I think
girl.
I did that too.
every girl.
I think
I
that would
never got a
probably
blowjob before I had sex.
Yeah.
You had
I
sex
had to
before
learn
you
in
had a blowjob?
reverse.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it might have happened the same night. It might have been like 1 to 2. I don't really remember. I was drunk.
I did it in order, but it went 0 to 60, 0 to 100.
Wait, no, because no. Okay, so if we're counting the 16-year-old time I lost my virginity, then yes, I did.
Yes. Multiple times he
not-
lost his virginity.
Yeah.
I lost it when I was 16. I lost it when I was 20.
He's gonna lose it again today.
It was 16.
If we're counting
I forgot
the
about
16-year-old time is a
What
great
are you
phrase.
talking about?
I forgot
You
about
lose-
what I had sex when I was 16 or 17 in Spain, and I just forgot about it. And like for my whole life.
No, you didn't.
I
Were
was-
you raped? Did
Yeah.
Did you black
He does
it out?
suppress a lot of things.
Yeah, that's not.
He has been molested
That's not a
several
real
times.
story.
I lost virginity at 19. I like told the girl, like we started dating. I told her she was my first, and then like I don't know, 6 months ago I remembered when I had sex at 16. It's like, oh no, fuck, I had sex in Salamanca. I wasn't lying. It was just I just completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
Do you have
imagine
some sort
it
of
was-
sexual trauma that like you
Yes.
would
I don't
block
think
out?
so.
No,
yeah.
yes.
Were you an altar boy?
I was not an altar boy.
Okay.
No,
No, but I mean, we've gone over it many times.
Well, but this was just sex with a college girl. This is not
Right, but I'm just saying
there's
all
trauma-inducing about
there's
that.
a lot of other. There's 5 or 6 other times that
Were you wasted? I just don't understand.
I
how
was
you can-
drunk. I was pretty drunk. Yeah, but I got hard, so not
Congrats.
Hey,
Congrats.
that proud.
that drunk. Gang shit, gang shit.
I got hard and then I forgot about it for 20 years.
I'm sure it was so eventful for her. Could you imagine that poor girl finds out that you've been running around just telling people for years that never happened?
Yeah.
It was so forgettable.
It was actually pretty good. I remember, like,
Really?
now that I remember, I'm like,
I feel
remember
like
having
this is a
fun.
lie.
I remember she had her leg up on a sink, and I was like, this is fucking good.
Nah,
It was it
this didn't happen.
Yeah, this happens.
Making shit up.
She was living in a hotel
Okay,
at
did
the
you
time.
last 45 minutes?
How old were you?
16,
16.
maybe 15.
So that's not that. Like, it's not like
Jury's
you were
out.
late. You went.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
did everything quick, but
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah, I just had to
normal
catch
time.
up.
Yeah. I mean, when were other people that much younger? And like, I don't think you'd play much catch up if you're 15, 16 years old.
I just felt like I was behind because everyone
Yeah.
had been dating since
But
like
that's the
6th
thing.
grade. You know what I
But-
mean?
but
They have like
that's-
stupid little
When
boyfriends.
you realize, especially then, and even now, that everyone is lying about their sex lives. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you're like, I'm playing catch up because all my girlfriends told me that they're like having sex every day. And It's
Right.
like, no, you're fucking not. We're in 8th grade,
Right.
Jessica.
Right.
You know, like you're living in you're still in your like princess bed from when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You're not fucking every night, you liars.
Everyone lies about everything.
Everything.
The reason I started smoking cigarettes when I was in college, this is crazy and a throwback, but they were handing out Camel Crush cigarettes on the campus for free when those cigarettes came out. They
Wow.
were just like handing them out.
That's
like
crazy.
big tobacco. It's insane. I don't think it
Yeah.
would be legal today.
No way, yeah.
But I kept saying, no, I don't smoke. And then finally I was like, whatever, I'll just take the cigarettes. And so I took them and I put them just like on my table in my dorm. And then I made this new friend. And my new friend came over. She's like, oh my God, you smoke cigarettes? I smoke cigarettes too. And I was like, oh my God, crazy. So we started smoking cigarettes together. And like 9 months later, we're in like the bitter cold, like skipping class to smoke a cigarette. And she's like, do you want to know something crazy? And I was like, sure. And she's like, I didn't ever smoke cigarettes until I saw that you smoked cigarettes. And I was like, I didn't smoke cigarettes.
And
so
that's
we're-
how they get you.
Yes. And both
Big
of us-
tobacco.
Yeah, both of us were addicted to cigarettes for like a decade.
Just say, how much longer did you smoke?
Yeah.
Now we're all dying of cancer.
I literally just went to a
That's
hypnotist 2 weeks ago to stop
hilarious.
smoking because I
How'd it-
started
how'd it
vaping.
go?
Good, I don't smoke anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
It worked because
yeah.
of that?
Yeah.
Shit.
This guy's crazy. His name's Kerry Gaynor. Like everyone in LA goes to him for everything. I went to him like 3 years ago to stop biting my nails. That worked. And then I started vaping because I quit smoking cigarettes like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I started vaping in January and I was like, I have to stop this. I was like waking up in the middle of the night with like chest pains. I was like, I'm dying.
that feeling, yeah.
And so I went to the hypnotist and it fucking worked. It's like I don't even think about it anymore.
What? So he just put you under and said like
You're still
no
kind of
longer
conscious.
want-
He's still kind of like,
Really?
yeah. He's the one that Ron White went to stop drinking.
Oh,
Like
really?
Yes.
everyone, yeah, everyone goes. to
Is
this
it
guy.
one session and done?
3?
3?
Yeah. The first time
That's
I went
pretty-
to him, I remember
that's
I
pretty
was
good,
like,
though.
this guy's going to be a hack because he had a Hufflepuff pillow. And I was like, nobody is Team Hufflepuff.
No one is
Like,
Hufflepuff. I don't even know anyone who was in
Like, did you
Hufflepuff.
make that pillow yourself? Like, it was barely.
They don't
a
even sell
fucking-
Hufflepuff pillows at the Harry Potter store.
Right. It was barely a house. So I was like, this guy's not going to work at all. And then he's great.
What can I ask you? What it runs you ballpark?
It's $275 a session.
Oh, that's
3
I
sessions.
thought it.
Yeah.
I would
If
guess
he's
like
gonna
thousands
radically
of dollars.
change your life,
Yeah.
like $10,000
Yeah.
a session.
No.
It's better than rehab, babe. So
Yeah.
come on in here. You know.
Yeah.
There's a movie I watched relatively recently. I think it's like Blumhouse, one of those Blumhouse horror movies, where a guy is
The only movies that get made besides Marvel.
Yep, pretty much. I think it was like straight to streaming, and it was a hypnotist who, like, would basically like hypnotize women and then like fuck them and make them
hell yeah.
like, do
I
all
feel like
sorts
that's
of weird
most-
shit.
That's what happened to him in Spain.
Like I think I would be a little bit afraid to go to like the best hypnotist. Like, it's like I don't know what you're gonna do.
Well,
in
no,
there.
because you're still. I mean, so the plot of that movie is sort of flawed because like you are still awake and
Yeah.
conscious. It's not like you're unconscious. You hear everything. You can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're
It's not
still
like you're out of
there.
control of your body.
Yeah.
And you think it was really that? Yeah, not like a placebo. You think it was like really?
No, it's 100% that. It works.
Really?
Yeah. It's just worked for too many people for it to not be that.
And it's always things like that, like addiction or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
you can do it with like food, like
could you do it
eating
with-
stuff, drinking, smoking, honestly, anything you want to work on. So Mike Tyson got hypnotized into thinking he was the best before he like became a world champion.
Wow.
So it works. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to become a
was gonna
world
say.
champion boxer.
What would you?
And then we'll see if it works.
put it really to the
We'll
test.
see.
Fuck.
No training. All I have is a mindset.
The comedy special is out.
Yeah.
From Hoe to Housewife, and the clips are fucking unbelievable. I mean,
Thank
you've
you.
got like I feel like 10 or 12 of them that have been running that are all like grade A, perfect Instagram clips, great jokes.
Thank you.
Like very good promo for the special. But yeah, I mean, some of them are jaw dropping.
Thank you.
We were watching the one about your mom.
R.I.P. R.I.P. to a real one.
I guess I can laugh, right?
Yeah.
Is,
You have to-
is that
that's what I say during the set. I'm like, you guys not laughing at this won't bring my mom back to life. So like,
Whoop it up.
fucking enjoy it. You know?
But it's one thing at a set. It's one thing just sitting at a table with a person.
Yeah, it is
But
different.
It's
It's one of the most, if not the most, like jarring jokes I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Or not even jokes, just like
Yeah.
a fucking fact, a
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
I was like, did not see that coming. Woo. It's
Yeah, so
like,
my
it's
mom
not the
killed herself
pheasant
3 days
farmer that I'm
before
going
me.
out.
just in case you don't know. Mom
mom-
killed herself right before the wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
But the way that's set up of like some people, right before the photographer cancels or whatever
Right,
the things
right.
are. And my mom fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean-
well, that joke will divide a room.
Yeah.
And
Real quick.
I think the thing is people think that their mom's killing themselves in that moment. And I'm like, it's my mom.
Yeah,
and
don't worry.
And she was an asshole. This is the other thing. This is the
You're
other
like Jenny
thing.
McCurdy. I'm glad my mom's dead.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that sucks about people dying is like you're not allowed to then talk about how fucking horrible they
Right.
were.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
It's like assholes die too.
yeah, it is. People are like, your mom was fierce. I'm like, Beyonce's fierce.
Yeah,
Like,
my
my
mom's a
mom was a cunt with a mental illness, and she tore our family apart shred by shred. So, like, her killing herself was the nicest thing she did for anyone. Like, literally, when I got the call that she died, first of all, I knew she died because I knew she killed herself because she called me, and my whole life she was just a wretched bitch. Like, we had not talked for 6 years. She was the worst person in my life, truly. And R.I.P. But I got a voicemail from her, and it was just nice. It was just like, hey, I'm just calling to tell you I love you, and I hope everything's good. And I was like, oh, she's gonna kill herself, because all of her voicemails would be like, hey, just calling to check in. Anyway, Donald Trump's in my ceiling. Like, she was like mentally
Crazy, yeah.
ill. So I was like, oh, she's gonna kill herself. And I got the call. My aunt was like, are you driving? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, can you pull over? And I was like, is mom dead? And she's like, yeah.
Holy
and I was
shit.
like, thank God. I knew she was going to ruin my wedding somehow. But the fact that she didn't show up was like best case scenario. I was like expecting her to come unload like hot rounds on my wedding. But
Crazy.
she just unloaded them on herself. So.
I mean, we always say that like when bad shit happens to us, there's in the beginning it used to be like this sucks, but we have great material for the show. I'm at the point where I think my first reaction, it's not even a but anymore. It's just like yes. But
Yes.
that takes the cake.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
about like silly things,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
mom suicide.
No, I immediately was like, oh, thank God. Because she just wasn't going to find it here. You know what I mean?
It
She
just
was
wasn't
never
working
gonna be
out.
happy.
Yeah.
It wasn't going great.
We need to change
She
the
didn't
scenery.
have a
for
good
you.
reputation. This is how much people didn't like my mom. And this is dark. But she killed herself 13 days before she was found. So like,
No
do you
way.
know how empty your life has to be? And she had it fully planned where like she wanted to be found immediately, but like nobody wanted to come in the house because everyone was so scared of her. So
Like, what is that smell?
bitch,
She's probably
man.
cooking
Like-
bad dinner again. Everyone knows she sucks a good.
Sucks at cooking. Yeah.
I think we've talked about like how long. We definitely talked about that with you.
Yeah.
How long would it take?
It was
for
6
somebody,
days
but we,
for me.
Yeah, 6 days. But 13's a lot.
That's
like,
way
if he
longer than
went-
you would.
If he went missing for a week, for 6 days, I mean, it would be quicker than that because we would miss we would miss this, but I wouldn't be like. So no, you would only get like 3 days out of me, and then I'd go like 4 days because the first day I'd be like, I don't know, maybe he disappears into some shit. I don't know. The next day I'd be like, I gotta go check on him.
Yeah. But that's because we have a job.
Yeah,
Like we have.
She
like,
didn't have a job.
She didn't have a job.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have a job.
I took a shot in the dark. I assumed.
So did my mom.
God damn.
That is good.
God damn. I guess that answers that question of how. I guess. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Goodness, this is dark.
Yeah, it's really dark. Sorry.
But isn't it great to laugh about it?
Yeah.
I think the best and most impressive thing you can do is be able to laugh and make jokes about that shit.
Yeah,
You know,
it's great, but it's also funny too. Like it was.
it's great. You know, it's great.
You know
also
what's
having
great?
a loving mother. Who
I don't. No, the cops in the town that we were in, it's like small town cop shit. But like, she was like giving people, like telling people she was gonna kill them, and like doing all this stuff where like any other cop that wasn't, you know, just eating donuts and doing fucking nothing would have gone and taken her gun away.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Thank God they didn't. All right.
They didn't do that. And I was like, well, the blood's kind of on your hands, Fat John. But that cop was fucking worthless.
Shout out to them though for being like, let's just let that happen.
Let's see how this ends.
Let's watch this one play out.
But that same cop, I mean, the town I grew up in was like small and like fucked up, like 1,200 people. Our neighbors cooked meth. Our other neighbor across the street, this is dark. Can we keep being dark?
Yes,
okay.
please.
I'm like, because this is really dark.
You are on the right podcast.
Okay. Our other neighbor across the street was trying to kill herself, and trying.
How often?
Slitting her wrists just once. She was in the barn.
Okay.
And her husband came in and saw what she was trying to do and was like, oh, she didn't finish the job, and got his gun and shot her. And they still called it a suicide.
Yes. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
He was doing her a favor.
I would say logistically maybe you should have just helped her like finish the actual job and fucking shoot her because that's gonna put you in a little bit of legal trouble. But I guess not. Did he get anything?
Nothing. Not even ever really talked
Was
about.
it like the 1800s? Like was it like this is recent? They just said okay.
It's Big Bend, Wisconsin. If you go and do that today, you're gonna find. My mom killed herself 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like that shit's like they don't give a fuck.
Dude,
it's still suicide.
It's
like,
suicide by
what do you call
suicide
it?
by my neighbor.
The spirit of the act.
The intention. Yeah.
So they had a great relationship, huh?
Yeah.
Imagine you walk in and you're like, "No, honey, but all right." Like,
you went across the street and said up the river. Like, come on,
fucking idiot.
Everybody knows that.
I'll fix this. She thinks he's running away to get a belt and tie off her arm. She's like, what the fuck?
That husband doesn't know a cry for help when he's
This was for attention, you asshole. I heard your car pull up in the driveway. That's why I started now.
We have that jar up there, that piggy bank is supposed to be when Jackie started, she was going to try to raise the morale of the podcast.
Oh boy, sorry.
And she gave up a long time ago.
Okay, good.
But it was supposed to be anytime we make a reference to killing ourselves, we have to put the money in. And both of us went broke real quick. We're like, we're not doing this anymore.
Well, we're not talking about killing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Goodness gracious. And then the wedding was just like party. It was like, all good.
Yeah, the wedding. So the wedding was interesting because I had a drinking problem and I was like drinking at my mom my whole life. So the second I heard she was gone, I was like, oh my God, I finally get to stop drinking. But the wedding, I'm gonna go balls to the wall. So
Yeah,
my gay
what
friends, brought Molly and Kay and Coke,
wow.
and all this shit, and we just fucking party because it was on a private island in Nicaragua. We just partied for like for like 4 days straight. And then when I got back, I was like, I had to go to my mom's funeral, and I was like, this would be a good time to not drink. You know, like let me test myself and see if I can not drink. So naturally, I blacked out, and then the next day was the last day I ever had a drink.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the end.
And the hypnotist for that too, or
No,
no?
that was just
good
sheer
old,
willpower.
Good old mom's dead, and I don't have to drink anymore.
Yeah, I don't need to kill myself anymore.
Yeah, that's a big part of the special as well is getting sober, which I think you do in a very funny way, like talking about how much that sucks. But I guess you answered the question. It wasn't like a party thing. It was like a mom.
Well, no,
mental
it's
thing.
like
or is it a party?
So
and
my
get out of
mom
control?
like basically just told me like on my 10th birthday, she's like, you're gonna be a worthless alcoholic just like your father, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll show you a worthless alcoholic. But no, I think I was trying to
You'd
like
be better worthless alcoholic than my dad.
yeah, I think I was trying to show her that like I could drink and have all the things that she couldn't have. Like it was a big elaborate like performance art piece.
Yeah.
But then when I moved to LA, I started doing Coke and Molly, and that fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Because like my brain chemistry changed, and I got really sad, and I was just like not having so much fun anymore, and kind of like losing friends, you know? Because I'm like, I'll tell you about you. And they're like, we
We
didn't
don't wanna hang out with
ask.
you.
I already knew all this internally.
Yeah, so I just became somebody that wasn't super fun to be around,
Yeah.
and I just decided
You just
to
pulled the plug. Like,
yeah,
just
and then
changed
I
everything.
also like wasn't doing comedy. I like started comedy, and then like I was still working my day job, and I like was just
What was that?
miserable.
What was the day job?
I worked in advertising.
So like a real job.
Yeah, I was the head of recruitment for Media Arts Lab, which is Apple's agency.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
So was there any thought to just like doing that instead of comedy? Like, I'll just stick with.
Well, I
this real
did. I
job?
did do that, and then I was very successful at that, and I made a bunch of money, and I still wanted to die. So
Yeah, that's
I
usually
was
how
just
it
like,
goes.
yeah, this
Yeah.
isn't worth it. This isn't.
That's
this
interesting
isn't
to
it.
make it to the point that you're making a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like mostly people get out of it before they're, because it's just a time thing. Usually by the time you're making money, you've put enough years in it that it's also hard to switch gears
So
into another
hard.
career. But
So
so
hard.
you could have easily just like put it on cruise control, continue to make that money.
I think if I didn't listen to a single thing that I felt or thought, I could have done that. You know what I mean? If I just
Right.
shoved
Just
that
put
down like the
everything
rest
down.
of the
Yeah.
world does.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, we're laughing about it, but that's what like 99%
No,
of
I
people
know.
do.
But
every day.
it was affecting me mentally, and I was like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. So I need to go do something else.
And then you just quit that and started comedy. Like there was no
yeah,
like,
at the
let me
end
do
of
a little bit both.
2019, I was like,
Perfect timing.
yes, I was
Perfect
like, I'm gonna
timing.
go full time comedy, and then the
Yeah.
pandemic happened, and I was like, well,
But also, like you started at a time where it can only go up.
right,
Like there's no worse year than that for
Yeah.
comedy. So if you can get through that,
yeah,
you can get through.
yeah, that was
anything.
great. 2020, I hate to say this, I had a blast.
No,
A
there's,
shocking amount of people share the sentiment.
yeah,
And
you're
I
really not
do as
alone.
well.
You're really not like.
Because it was like nobody was getting ahead. I wrote an entire book. I like wrote
Yeah,
the
it
book that
was
I wanted to
and
write. I did shit. I was like, this is great.
As far as like social lives, like I don't like to go out much, but I
Me
do.
neither.
I always feel like FOMO, and I'm always like saying no to people, and I do feel bad about that. And then that was gone.
Yeah.
Everybody became like me. Everyone was
Yeah.
just like sitting on the couch watching
Yeah.
TV, and there was no like, oh, I should or whatever. It's like this is great, minus the mass scale death, but like.
That's fine
I
too.
don't- whatever. See you later.
You gotta
This is what it
cleanse.
is.
The
So
planet
then,
did a juice cleanse.
So wait, you started comedy in
2013.
2013.
2013. Then I did it for 2 years, and then I took a break for 2 years, and then I came back.
So yeah, I mean there's obviously we're talking like a decade under your belt, but to then have a special out, I mean it's all relatively pretty fast,
Yeah. I mean, it's not like anyone gave me the special. I did it myself. I
Right,
just
right, right.
decided
It's
I
like,
can't tell these jokes anymore.
Right, just get
I
it
will
out
kill
there.
myself. All right, I have to put something.
Jar. It is a very good special. It's very. I was telling you, it's very like the. I usually think when I hear about how much comics will spend on a special themselves, I think it's crazy.
It's insane.
But I don't think you guys need to spend as much as you do. When I hear some of the numbers, I think. And
Well,
then,
what are
and
the
then when I
numbers
see
you're
the
hearing?
product, like 40 grand.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and then I see it, I'm like, I don't think that was worth 40 grand. And I think you could find like the internet. There are fucking college kids with cameras and shit that can do some
Right.
cool things now. You know what I mean? That like you wouldn't even need to spend that much money. But and then that's also my style is like it could be the worst like visual and audio if the jokes are fucking banger. Like I don't care. But yours has a very, I don't know, it's very like quiet, and your delivery and the way the
quiet,
audio
no one's
sounds.
laughing.
no, I don't mean it like that. But there is something very like it's very silent, and then like when you hit like a joke about like your mom killing herself, it's like it just plays very well. One of my biggest regrets in life is not staying as a video game nerd, because I feel like if I continued to play video games the same way I did when I was a kid, I would probably be a billionaire today with the way that esports and the gaming world has grown. Now it feels like the game has passed me by, and I can't even keep up with the new games and the new consoles. That's why I'm pumped about Backbone, though, because this right here, I'm almost 40 years old. I don't sit down. I don't have the console connected to my TV, but this right here turns your cell phone into a gaming device, no problem. So you slide it in, it plugs in, and it immediately takes you to the app that you need. It immediately takes you to the App Store to download the particular app that you need, the Backbone app, which will give you access to all PlayStation games, all sorts of games that are modified to be played on your phone. So you get to play these games. Let me do my Face ID, install. It takes you right to the app. You download Backbone, and then it has all the games that are accessible to be played on your iPhone, but you get to use the PlayStation controller. It's designed using the PS5 DualSense controller, so it's got all your regular PlayStation gameplay, but with your phone as the screen. This is as easy as it comes. You don't need all the consoles. You don't need to sit down. Look at this. It takes you right to the app. Bam. This is sick. Press X to continue. You sign in with Apple, you start downloading the games, and you can play it right here with full control using a PS5 controller. It's about as simple as it gets if you're older like me and you want to dive back into the gaming world, but you don't have the consoles, you don't want to, you don't have the money, whatever it may be. You do have your phone, you do have the Play Backbone controller. So go to playbackbone.com/KFC now to order your Backbone. For a limited time, you get access to 350 different games and perks for free for a limited time. So if you are a gamer, you gotta go do this. It's the official partner of Diablo Immortal. So not only is the game specifically optimized for Backbone, but you'll also receive $10 of in-game perks. So if you want to play Diablo Immortal, it's made for your phone. It's made for the Backbone controller, plus $10 to spend in-game. Find your next adventure at playbackbone.com/KFC. I'm gonna sign in right now and find myself Face ID. This is as easy as it gets. It teaches you how to use the controller, all the different buttons, how to record your gameplay, how to take a screenshot so you can share it on social. This is as dummy-proof for the old people as it is intuitive for the young people who are going to be gaming. And you go to playbackbone.com/KFC to get access to all the games that you can play on your phone with the controller right here.
I'm very fortunate because, like I said, I used to work in advertising. So I have a lot of friends that are used to working on like multi-million-dollar campaigns. And I was connected with a production company in Austin that like does Citibank stuff. And like they're used to doing like these really high budget things. And they did mine as a favor.
Oh, wow.
So
like
I mean, I paid,
rollout and everything.
yeah, it was like 10 grand or something like that. They would never do it for that little again. But it's like I wouldn't pay 40 grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, that's more like what I think it should be. That's perfect then. I mean, then you for sure got your money's worth in that one
great.
then. So that's out now. And you're living in LA.
Yeah.
Staying in LA.
Yeah,
LA
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sort of thinking about coming to New York for the fall, but I need to see if I can make it through this week.
Where are you staying?
I can hopscotch over the trash. I'm staying with Joe List and his wife. They have an apartment in the basement. And
Okay. What neighborhood is that?
Astoria?
Story.
I
So
still
you're in
don't
Queens,
know
yeah.
all the neighborhoods.
So you're like in Queens. That's like the outer borough.
I have no idea where I am at any time. That's the other thing. I do not have a sense of direction. Like I'm not fucking Magellan. I don't know.
I mean, I've been here like 7 years. I still don't really know because
Well, you just know where
Everyone's
you
like,
go.
it's a grid. I'm like, I don't even know what
Well,
a
when
grid
you're
is
in
for
Manhattan,
real.
if you can't navigate through like Midtown Manhattan, you are an idiot. That's
Okay,
a
I'm an
fact.
idiot then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the numbers go up and the numbers go down.
Okay.
And
Whatever you say. I believe
I will
it.
say, like, no matter how long you're in the city, when you come out of the subway and it'll say like this is the northwest corner, and I'm like,
Again, I'm not a sea
I don't have a
captain.
fucking.
Right.
I don't have a compass.
I don't have a
on me.
compass
I will
on
look
me.
if the numbers are going up, and if I'm on 50th and I need to go to 60th, I look to see if the numbers are going up, and
Yeah,
I go
yeah.
that direction.
Okay, fine.
I don't need to know.
I can figure
about
it out,
the-
is what you're saying.
Yeah, I got faith in you.
Okay.
I got.
I know
strong
what a
faith in
mollusk
you.
is. So.
Yeah, that shit surprised me big time. We just asked Young Gravy before, and I want to get your take on this too. This is a scenario that we've been pitching at multiple guests. If you were dating somebody, and their dying wish, they have cancer. You've been dating for 7 years.
How imminent is the cancer?
It's
Stage 4.
Stage 4, like they are done.
Yeah.
Dying wish is to fuck their ex one last time.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It doesn't even have to be their dying wish. They don't even need to have cancer. Like,
Just ask nicely.
fuck whoever.
No, you don't mean
no,
that.
I do mean that. I really don't
You
believe.
don't mean that.
I really mean that. So my husband and I are now getting divorced. I love him dearly, but like literally, I knew it was over because at the end I was like, "You should get a mistress." Like I kept being like, I just
And
want.
he's getting divorced?
What?
Hasn't he heard of having your cake and eating it too?
Yeah. I'm like, I just want you to get your dick sucked with the reckless abandon of someone trying to take a person out of a marriage. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing better than that. I don't believe in monogamy really, for real.
So,
So it doesn't. No, they don't need cancer. They can just go fuck their ass.
You have no ego with that. You have no.
So I hated his ex at 1st, and now I feel like I understand her.
Like you get along with her real well.
I mean, like I just think that if you want to fuck your ex, go dig through the recyclables. I don't care.
I do think that it's gotten to a point with relationships and stuff where it's like, I guess you can't be a total asshole to everybody, but it's just like if you feel an overwhelming compulsion to do something or not do something, you should probably do that.
Go do it.
You know,
And
if you want
also-
to fuck that person that badly, you probably shouldn't be with me, or
Also-
you should be single, or whatever you're feeling. Go do it, because sitting here just denying how you're feeling is kind of crazy.
Totally, but also I'm like more worried about like my husband's aspirations or my partner's aspirations in this scenario. Like you want to fuck someone you've already fucked. Like you don't want to fuck Beyonce.
Well,
you know what I mean?
yes,
Like,
but
you
I
don't
also
wanna
think there's
fuck-
got to be a
hint
you
of
can't
realism
fuck
to it,
Beyonce.
really.
You can fuck your ex.
Oh.
How am I gonna fuck Beyonce?
Well, you're not.
Well, who's getting to fuck Beyonce? I don't know if I mean, yes, if Beyonce was just like, you can fuck me, I would fuck Beyonce. But I think there would be a
That's
great
exactly how that
deal.
interaction would go. You can fuck me.
I think there would
I'm
be
sick
a
of
great
Jay-Z's
deal.
massive dick.
See, I don't think Jay-Z.
Downsides.
I don't get the impression Jay-Z would like fuck great.
No, he's gonna be lazy.
I could, yeah.
That's the thing about people that are too successful. They're pretty lazy.
But even
in bed.
before he was that, like,
Athletes aren't.
he's very. I don't know. Jay-Z doesn't strike me as the type of like.
a wild fuck.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
also
He's laid
old.
back, and now he's old.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. Like, who gets to fuck Beyonce? That's a weird.
Like if they were to break up,
yeah, like who
who would be next? But I don't know, because then you look at Kim and Kanye and it was Pete Davidson.
Yeah,
You never
fucking
know.
know. You really don't.
It might be you. You might have a shot.
If that's so
get-
true.
yeah.
If Kim, who is like right on that
Yes.
level, can decide to fuck like the angsty comedian guy,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, B. Just saying. Holler at me.
Yeah, I'll get all up in
I don't
that
know,
beehive.
because I like she does those tours where it's like all women, like there's no men on. I don't know if she does that anymore, but it used to be like
Beyonce?
all the dancers, all the everything.
A
was
lot of
all
the
female.
dancers are men.
On her tour? Well, I don't know about. I mean, maybe now, but I
think
remember
they
there was
dress
at least a
as women.
tour where she wanted. Because I think it's different when you're a male star. I think male groupies are different than female groupies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Female groupies
you
are
wouldn't
the
want
best.
to fuck
They're
a
like
male. Yeah.
the graduating
Like-
class from ASU.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like
It's
a male, a guy who's like, oh my god, I love Beyonce so much. Beyonce doesn't want to fuck her.
No, exactly.
So
yeah, like my
who
DMs are
who fucks
atrocious.
Beyonce?
Like, there's no one
Yeah, I
good
can
in
see
there.
that. No.
No.
So if you're DMing
At
Brittany,
least you have the opposite sex in your DMs.
Yeah.
would you prefer female groupies? Have you ever fucked around with chicks?
Yes.
So would you rather that than like lame
Yes.
guys?
100%. Because the guys are all just like, let me fly you to Abu Dhabi, and I'm like, what?
That's actually better than I thought.
I mean,
thought
let
you
me
were-
fly you to Abu Dhabi is a
But then
pretty
they look
solid pitch.
the way they look. I'm like, no, thank you.
Could you? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would be great at if I was a hot chick being a sugar baby and just like closing my eyes and being like, let's get this over with so I can go back to the pool at this 5-star restaurant in Abu Dhabi.
Okay,
5-star hotel.
Want to be that person so bad. Like, it's
can't.
on my vision board. I aspire to be that person. I went on a date the other day with this guy who's nice. He's great. And he invited me to go to Paris with him for 2 weeks. And he's like, anything you want. Well, and I'm like, no. I could
a bit much.
Never. I want to go to Paris so bad. I love Paris.
all you gotta do is
Why
fuck
couldn't
this
you
guy?
like?
I don't want to fuck him.
But you were on a date with him, right? So like
There was
it
enough interest. That date must have gone really bad.
No, it didn't go bad. It wasn't. It's just if you're not attracted to 20-year-old me, drunk me, I'm
Sure.
in Paris.
Yeah.
I'm in Paris
Right now,
Housey
forever.
Rosé,
Yeah.
letting him blow my back out and buy me a Rolex. You know? 30-year-old me.
You probably wouldn't even need to like put in that much of an effort.
But it's just energy. Energy's. I don't.
I
wanna give
hear
my
you. I do
energy
get
to
that.
people.
But I just think I would be, the energy afterwards when we're like at a fucking Michelin restaurant in an amazing place that I never thought I would go.
Been to Michelin. I just
Yeah, well, that's the
don't.
other thing too is once you've done some of that shit like on your own or
Right.
without like the help of
Didn't
the sugar
have to
baby.
suck a dirty dick. to
Right.
do it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I also have an MX, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's 2022. Women get MXs too. Yeah.
You're about equality.
Yeah.
My limit is much lower.
How much money do you think you could make on an OnlyFans?
God, I get this question so much. I don't know.
It's
How
more
much
than-
do you think I could make?
More than you think.
could make.
Really?
A lot.
Should I start one today?
I've been saying this to everybody too. I would absolutely start an OnlyFans if I was even slightly attractive, even regular girl, known, not known. The amount of money. I think everyone's gonna have it eventually and gonna make some money. It's gonna be like just you have an Instagram, you have a Twitter, you have an OnlyFans, and how much money you want to make with that is up to you. Like what you want to do on it is up to you. But
Here's the thing about OnlyFans. I feel like if I start an OnlyFans, I won't be taken seriously as a comic.
yeah,
But I don't know if I am anyway, so I'll just start it.
I do think there's some level of there's a stigma, and certainly in comedy they love to gatekeep on who's put in their time and paid their dues and deserves it and doesn't deserve it. But if all of a sudden you have a shit ton of money, you're doing everything you've ever wanted to do, you're producing your own this and that, and can like you have all the money to make all your shit happen, I'd be like, don't fucking care what you guys think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm starting an OnlyFans. I think the thing that bothers me about OnlyFans is everyone who DMs me about it, like being like, do you have an OnlyFans? I look at their page and the first picture is like them and their girlfriend being like, this is the love of my life.
Yeah.
And like she thinks that you're her OnlyFan.
Well, they want to just jerk off to you.
Yeah.
So
Well, they can do it anyway. I pretty much post a lot of shit.
See, that's
on
what I'm saying.
Instagram.
Like some of the shit you post on your Instagram could just be behind a paywall and you're getting money for it.
Okay. I'm going to take it all down.
You really, I mean,
And
really
start
not.
an
We've had
OnlyFans.
multiple girls here start OnlyFans and make like 30 grand overnight.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing it.
No, legit, like other girls
Well, you
here
guys
who
subscribe.
have other girls who have they have a good following and they're popular as well. But like if that's on OnlyFans, you're making fucking 100K.
But do I have to
a month.
interact with the people that are looking at it?
You can do whatever you want. You can if you want.
You
You
can
can
make
probably
more
pay
doing
some
that.
other dude to fucking. You can pay somebody to do the interaction.
Yeah,
for
they
you.
have like services now. Some dude in India just
No,
rates
it's
dick pics for you.
There's something in my heart that's like once it's paid for, it's work and it feels dirty. It's like all the sex I've had. If I charged for it, I would feel horrible.
I'd be really rich, but I'd
My
feel
pussy is pro bono. So, that makes me sleep at night. You know?
I very much get
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, how backwards is that though? It's like I will fuck you for free. I will regrettably fuck someone who I probably shouldn't, and if it's for free, I can sleep at night. But if I got something out of it, no, then I feel awful.
Right. I don't know.
Make that
That's
money
why I
back.
never orgasm when I have sex. I
that
don't want to get anything out of it.
There's something going on with you. Your sex stories are not
There's
adding
a lot
up.
going on.
No, you have no idea. I don't think anybody does. All right, let's go do some answer to the internet. What do you say?
Yeah, sure.
So the special is from Hoda Housewife.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube
Yes.
under 800 Pound Gorillas.
Correct.
Which is Kevin Hart's production company, so you can go catch it there. Very funny special. Good in and out. It's like 35 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like no lulls, no trimmed all the fat. Very funny stuff. And if you haven't seen any of the clips by now, I don't think you're on Instagram because I feel like those are fucking flying around left and right. So follow on Instagram, Brittany Schmitt, and check out the YouTube. And thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Everything else?
No.
Good? Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.